What is up, gamers? One of the craziest things about well, not one of the craziest things, but one of the most upsetting things about my table exploding last week was that I lost my mint. I've been growing a little mint plant for like the past couple of months, and it was reaching some pretty nice heights. I actually trimmed it down for the first time and harvested some of the leaves from it. Made some really good tea with it. And it was starting to grow back. And when my table destroyed itself, I went back to check on the mint. The mint was all over the floor. It did give me one good harvest, though. So, can't say I'm not proud of it. I just wish it had a couple more in it. But it's okay, I got seeds. So I'm just gonna keep on planting them and start all over, I guess. Anyways, we're here on the Obani Moons now. So last week I told a story about how crazy my weekend was, and it was a little bit of an upsetting weekend, all in all. However, there was one glowing moment. I found something of a classic at my local secondhand shop. Every now and then, I'll go to the local secondhand shop, walk around the video game aisle. You never know what you're gonna find after all. People are trading stuff in, checking stuff out all the time. Sometimes I even make a new acquaintance there. If any of you are watching this video right now, it was really nice meeting you, and I hope I get to see you again out there. I found something of a hidden treasure. I'm sure a lot of you spend time on whatever social media you choose, right? TikTok, IG, whatever. Even YouTube Reels, I don't know. Everybody watches everything lately, and I just kind of ride the wave. I've noticed that there's a lot of a certain game popping up on Reels pretty often, and on TikTok, and on Instagram. And it's kind of funny, because I remember this game being a big deal when it came out. And seeing it still being kind of a big deal now, it's kind of gratifying, because it was always a really good game. And to see it still getting some kind of memeability in today's day and age warms my heart, because that means that old games are not being forgotten as much as I thought they were.
Cover me! Oh, man down!
It's all right, Skid. The fight's over.
Yes! No. That blows, man. I would have been here sooner, but I encountered some heavy-duty resistance.
Enemy troops?
Well, not exactly. The drive through a Galaxy Burger was wicked slow.
Yeah, I've been there.
Anyway, looks like that last moon is surrounded by an Omega-class disintegration field.
Whoa.
Whatever's going on out there, it can't be good. If I had the right tools, I could hack into that generator and shut the field down.
Hey, lucky for you dudes, I brought this. Stand back, bro. I'm like a trained professional and stuff. Don't try this at home. Oh, man, it's busted. Oh, wait, never mind.
Incoming call from the Galactic Rangers.
Sarge, Blackwater City is under attack! The noise came out of nowhere. The situation is extremely, well, we're pretty much hosed, sir. Run for your lives! Ah! Sir, requesting immediate assistance!
Whoa! I guess I'll be canceling that hoverboard trip to Blackwater City.
The Rangers need our help. Let's go.
I'll, catch up with you guys. I think this lock is gonna take a while.
Okay, give us a call if anything comes up.
Who needs fancy gadgets like the hacker, the hypershot, and what else do we have? The refractor, tear guy. Who needs them? Who needs them? When you got a crowbar. Good old-fashioned hardware. Whatever, man. Skid's got this. Anyways, yeah, so... Oh yeah, we're going back to Blackwater City. If you remember, back in the day, Ratchet and Clank 1. This was the 6th planet on our list. Now it's the 10th, I think? 9th? Yeah, so I found a classic video game at the secondhand shop, and it's still relevant today, which is incredible to me. I'm so happy that it still brings people joy. And I managed to find a copy, and it wasn't that expensive. I was like, when I saw it, I was like, no way. First of all, I thought it was only for Xbox 360. And I saw it for PlayStation 3, which I can play. And I was like, I have to put this on the channel. It's my civic duty to bring this game to everybody. And so I will. I think maybe the week of this episode uploading, if I have time and I bust my ass editing for the next 3 weeks before we actually end up going on our honeymoon, I will make sure that we have a little special that week. Little kind of random pop-up visit from a little game called Skate 3. And we'll spend some time playing that one. I love Skate 3. When I had an Xbox 360 and I was living with roommates, me and my roommates would always play Skate 3 together. we played that game inside and out, I swear. We had so much fun playing that. It would be like, you guys want to play board games or do you want to play Skate 3 tonight? You know, like, it's just that good. It's like, anybody who's played Tony Hawk's Pro Skater also knows. Those games are just something special. There's nothing quite like them. And they really were of their time. They've tried to remake Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. I don't know where they went wrong with those games, those remakes. I didn't even pick them up. I heard so many bad things about them. I was like, how could they do my boy Tony Hawk like this? Tony Hawk's an interesting guy too. He's so good at what he does, which is skateboarding for anybody who doesn't know, that he doesn't seem to feel the need to assert his talent to anybody. He's just kind of chilling. He knows that he's the best at what he does, and he doesn't feel like he has to prove it to anybody. He just kind of exists and is himself all the time. That's something to aspire to, man. Like, when I was little, Tony Hawk was something of a playground hero, you know? Everybody wanted to be like Tony Hawk. All the kids I grew up with who wanted to learn how or knew how to skateboard, they all wanted to be Tony Hawk. And he was an inspiration. Oh, hang on. There's pretty sure there's a skill point here that we could get. Bash up the party. I'm pretty sure that means we have to kill him with a wrench, but whatever. Anyways, yeah, so Tony Hawk's a really chill dude, and even with his games, they weren't like anything arrogant or crazy over the top. They were just a good time. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, Tony Hawk's Underground. I remember in Tony Hawk's Underground 1, you actually, like, ride a lawnmower around one of the levels. It was just so weird and fun and interesting. And, for a little while, there wasn't anything quite like that. And then the skate games came out, and they were kind of like, kind of building off of that energy that the Tony Hawk games had. And I remember Skate 1 was a big deal. Skate 1 was like the new thing, and everybody wanted that one. And Skate 2 was kind of just there. It was interesting, but it wasn't like crazy special. Which I also found Skate 2 at that same shop. I was debating on picking that one up too, but Skate 3 just has so much more. And then, yeah, when Skate 3 came out, it was like a revolution in a game. Everybody wanted Skate 3, and it was just a lot of good things. I had an Xbox 360 a long time ago, and well, I don't want to sound like I have any kind of reservations about it or anything. I'm just pretty sure that this is what happened, okay? But no guilt trip, no nothing. Just, this is what I'm pretty sure happened. At some point, when I moved back in with my parents after college, I brought my Xbox 360 back from my room, and I gave it to my brother. I was like, it's yours now. You can do whatever you want with it. Just, like, don't sell it, you know? Because retro games are retro.
We've got orders to attack the enemy base and wipe these slime suckers off the planet. No way, man. We're not going near that base until somebody puts those turrets out of commission.
They're always going to be fun, but they're gonna actually probably lose value over time because, you know, discs get scratched. It's harder to find games that are out of print the longer that they are out of print. Some people restore them, some people make new copies. Like, they take the files and they put them on a new disc so that it's fresh and renewed. But it's very uncommon. And yeah, so all the games that I had on Xbox 360 were pretty classic. They were like the Fable Collection, Fable 3, which I heard wasn't that good, but I enjoyed it. I don't know. And then Skate 3, I had a game called, what's it called? Oh my god, it was like Magna Carta or something. An RPG that was just like out of nowhere, very Final Fantasy-like, and not too popular, but quite creative with its designs and story. I had a few other games on it too, all Xbox exclusives, and we had Halo Reach. It was like one of the first sandbox, first-person shooter type experiences with its Forge mode, which was a lot of fun to mess around with. I mean, they made Red vs. Blue in that, like, come on. Come on. It's good. It's good stuff. And I mean, it's on PC now, but it was kind of nice to have the original version of it, you know? I'm pretty sure he sold it, and it's okay. Like, I didn't expect him to keep it to begin with. Plus, it's Xbox. Old Xboxes, especially the 360, had such a bad rap. They didn't last too long.
That's the last of them. Blackwater City has been secured.
No problem, guys.
That was a close one, Sarge. Thanks for the backup. I tripped over these gravity boots while I was running from the Tyrannoids. I believe they're your size.
I always wondered why his voice cracked like that in that part. Well, whatever. Let's go back to Annihilation Nation, I guess. I guess Courtney Gears is there. Had a few classics on the Xbox. I'm sure he got a lot of money for those. And one of them was Skate 3. And I thought that... Oh, and I also had the original Nier. And I'm pretty sure... Well, I thought that Skate 3 was only on Xbox. And then I went to the secondhand store, and I found out that actually it's also on PlayStation 3. And I was like, alright, this could be a very good thing or a very bad thing, because sometimes the ports are not as good on the PlayStation 3, and I don't know why. And especially the way that I have to play them, it doesn't always end up as nostalgic as it was. I have Armored Core 4. That one was pretty good. But, oh man, oops. But as I learned, apparently, Armored Core 4 on the PlayStation 3, the original developer lost the rights to it or something. So there was an updated version of it that came out on the Xbox 360, but wasn't out on the PlayStation 3. So I felt a little bit cheated by that. I bought it out of nostalgia, and then I found out that I don't even get an updated version, and I was a little bit sad. But I still played through it, and it was still fun. And good game, you know? GG. Let's get gaming. Remember that? You guys who have been here since the beginning know. Whoa, what the hell is that? Anyways, yeah, so, again, I can't emphasize enough, no hard feelings towards my brother. I understand if he did sell it, because I do not know for the life of me what else could have happened to it, but I also don't have Skate 3 anymore on Xbox because of that. So I thought it was just gone forever, and I was like, that's fine, you know? I didn't really need it. It was nice to have, but I didn't need it. And then I found out it's on PlayStation 3 by going to a secondhand store. That's the thing about secondhand stores. You quite literally never know what you're gonna find. And a lot of times you will find just a random hidden gem that otherwise may have been lost to time. So I highly encourage people, and I mean, I've said it 1,000 times, a big point of this channel is just to encourage everybody. Oops. I don't think we're going to get the skill point with this guy. It's to hit him with a wrench, and he's going to kill me. But yeah, highly encourage everybody. Instead of buying that $70 brand new game that just came out that maybe your friends are talking about it or whatever, just go to a secondhand store. Pick up an old PlayStation. Pick up an old PlayStation from Amazon. I mean, there are still quite a few that have been refurbished or whatnot that are under $100. Pick up an old classic, like some of the games on my channel. Again, I'm not sponsored by any of these. Like, I'm pretty sure Insomniac doesn't make any money off of these games anymore, so how could they even sponsor me to say these things? But yeah, this is coming from the heart, not from a guy looking to make a profit. Just check out some old games. You never know what you'll find, and you might even find something that was lost to time. Then you can tell your friends about it. You never know what kind of trend might start out of it too. Like, there are so many things that are resurfacing thanks to social media. Like Skate 3. I thought Skate 3 was dead, but I see it all the time on social media.
Ladies and gentlemen, give a big hand for Ratchet and Clank. They'll take home a rare first edition Quark video comic. And here to present the grand prize, the incredible, incomparable, talented Courtney Gears.
If we play this right, she'll lead us right to Dr. Nefarious. Better let me do the talking. It is an honor for you to meet me. I mean, to meet you, Miss Gears. Hi. Hi.
My, you're even more gorgeous in person than you are on the Holo, Agent Clank. I've got a few secrets of my own that might need your special investigation.
Yes, I will report your concerns to the proper authorities.
Oh, Agent Clank, you always know exactly what to say to a woman. You know, I'd do anything to play a part in one of your Holo films.
That could be arranged, Miss Gears, if you are willing to provide information on the whereabouts of Dr. Nefarious.
Dr. Nefarious? You have been busy, haven't you? You just get me that part, and I'll tell you anything you want to know.
Excellent. Meet me at Hollow Studios.
Alright, well, I guess they got the information out of her that they needed. One way or another. What? Okay. Let's do some of the new challenges while I talk about more arbitrarily important things. So yeah, I encourage everybody. Support your local secondhand store. They're doing us all favors by keeping their prices low and, you know, not scalping for old classics in most cases. I actually found something that was a little bit shocking to me at the same secondhand store. So you got to be careful with what you decide is worth the investment, of course. But basically, I saw another game which was not that good. I remember actually hating it. I saw that game for almost $60 at the same secondhand store. So you gotta be careful. As always, don't trust that you're getting the best deal just because they say you are, or because I give the impression that you may be. No, you gotta trust your gut. But yeah, no, that game is Drakengard 3. Drakengard 3, actually all of the Drakengard games, they're kind of hyped up because they're extremely weird. Yeah, I mean, they are very weird. They're very original ideas and experiences. The execution of those ideas is not good. And because of that, I can't wholeheartedly recommend them to anybody, honestly, because, like, although they are very unique experiences, I wouldn't say that they're worth the price that they go for right now. In those cases, I would say if you want to experience the Drakengard games and get kind of a background on the Nier universe, because I'm not sure who all knows, I learned just a couple years ago, the Nier and Drakengard universes are connected. So if you want to get the full story, there's another YouTube channel that I actually used to watch quite a lot of. It goes by the name of Long Play Archives, and they have Drakengard 1, 2, and 3 on there. They play through the whole game, all 3 of them. You don't have to buy them to get the whole story. But if you feel so inspired after watching those very strange games, then you can still buy them if you want to, if you feel like it's worth the money. But I'm sure that you'll see what I mean after watching through somebody else playing the game, that those games were quite avant-garde, maybe too avant-garde, and maybe to the extent that they aren't actually even good. They probably... Well, I mean, the art world is guilty of that in a lot of cases, where an artist gets hyped up, and it's not who they are, it's who hypes them up. And the people who hype them up have money. And as a result, you get an artist coming out of the woodwork who may not actually be that good, but because someone else with power and influence says that they are good, they become something of a sensation. I feel like that's the case with the Drakengard games. And, yeah, they are very unique experiences. If you feel the curiosity of experiencing them, Long Play Archive has them on their channel. I'll include a link if you would like. I'm not sure how good of an idea it is, but to my understanding, YouTube is a community, and as such, community needs to support each other. And personally, I love Long Play Archive. They've helped me re-experience a few games that I thought were forgotten. And yeah, they do that without making you pay for the game. Especially in the cases where games are being scalped for more than they are actually worth. So yeah, don't fall victim to that. There are plenty of ways around it. Anyways, enough of the lecture. Yeah. Later this week... Oh no, sorry. I forgot. Oh no! Whatever. I forgot. Ratchet and Clank games come out on Fridays. So, later next week, please look forward to Skate 3, which will... Oh my god. Maybe I should stop talking and just focus on this for a second. Skill point? Oh, for finishing this one, I guess. Or for finishing all of these? Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, anyways, next week, Friday, upon the release of this video, please look forward to a very special episode of Skate 3 on the channel. It's going to be a good time. I really hope that it works because I've been looking forward to this so much over the past couple of weeks, actually. I bought the game at the secondhand store, and then all of the craziness of that weekend happened. My table exploding. Miso actually got sick, which was terrifying for me and my wife. We were really worried about her, and I was about ready to take her to the vet because I just couldn't figure out what was going on with her. I'm normally pretty good at diagnosing my pets' conditions because I grew up with dogs, so I know a lot about how their bodies function and what to do when they're having certain reactions. Like right now, she's having pretty consistent itchiness, but it's only in a couple of spots, and it doesn't seem to be bothering her too much, but it bothers her enough that she has to sit and like nibble at it every now and then. So I thought, okay, it's one of two things: fleas or allergies, because it's that time of season when a lot of dogs get allergies. And yeah, it turned out to be allergies, so no big deal. However, she was also having an issue where her appetite was just gone. She would not eat. When she did eat, she would only eat a little bit. And I was really worried because I thought that maybe one day we just played a little too rough with her. And I thought that maybe we disturbed her stomach, or worst case scenario, that it was about to flip. Anybody with dogs knows, or should know. This is a public service announcement. When a dog's stomach flips, you only have a little bit of time. You have to take them to get treated immediately, because when a dog's stomach flips, the gas starts to build up, and they only have a couple of hours in most cases. So it's no joking matter. And I was stressing out because I was afraid that this was about to happen to our Miso. I couldn't bear the thought. I was rubbing her stomach, she was just laying down, and I was like, I think we need to take you to the vet. She went to go drink some water. And I was like, okay, well, drinking water is a good sign. That means that she has some kind of motivation. And she went, drank some water, and she started gagging immediately. And I was like, oh no, is this it? Is this happening right now? I was ready. I had my keys in my hand, and I was ready to take her out. And she threw up a hairball. She just yacked up a giant glob of hair, and it was disgusting. But it made sense because she was always kind of like pawing at her teeth as if she had something stuck in her teeth, and she's been shedding lately. And so she probably got like one of my wife's hairs in her mouth or something, because that happens every now and then, and it usually just passes right through. But with her shedding, she was probably licking herself as well, and a bunch of her hair probably collected onto that hair that was already sitting in her throat. It was just sitting there, making her uncomfortable, upsetting her stomach because there's just something kind of like on its way, but not really being digested. And it was probably torture for her. But there was no way of knowing unless we took her to the vet, or unless it cleared itself. And thank God it cleared itself, because vet's expensive. For a good reason. I mean, it's the medical field just for dogs, you know? And I think it's getting a little out of control with the way that pet insurance is starting to cover things. Because, yeah, pet insurance is great if you have a problematic dog, but it also jacks up prices for other people. Somebody's got to pay for it, right? She's fine now. It was just another element of how crazy that weekend was, and how glad I am that it's over. And I hope there isn't another weekend like that coming up, because as of this point, it's already happened. Yeah, got married. It was a great time. Everybody was there. And thankful for the support of my friends and family. But speaking about it before the fact, actually, I'm actually quite nervous about it. And every time something goes wrong, it's another element of stress piling up on top of everything else that I have to do before the wedding actually happens. Actually, I really do feel lucky with the way that all the planning went down and everything, because we invited quite a lot of people. Almost nobody declined the invitations, which makes me feel very like I chose the right people, you know? Like, all of my relationships with my friends and family are valid, and that's one of the many amazing things about having a wedding. It's the fact that you find out, you know, just how much everybody really cares. The challenge now is to beat these guys without taking a single hit, and I think it should be pretty easy. Oh wait, where is she? Okay. Spitting Hydra's really good. Again, this weapon is early game weapon, and it's still extremely relevant. As you can see, we are absolutely flooring these guys. She keeps jumping down in the same place. I don't know why. I don't remember. I'm a little bit focused right now. Sorry for the lack of dialogue. Monologue. Die means two, mono means one, and I'm definitely the only one talking right now. I wonder if I took a hit now, if it would still count. Oh man, speaking of wedding preparations, I just had to step away for a few minutes because I got a call from the florist, and I had to get that all set up. But yeah, it's not crazy stressful. I mean, I understand a lot of people think that weddings are incredibly stressful and chaotic to set up, and everything feels like it's gonna go wrong and whatever. I mean, I'm not really of that school of thought. I actually think that this has been one of the easier things to plan in my life. Definitely easier to plan than picking my major in college. But yeah, no, it's not that bad, really. And I think maybe that school of thought comes from just people wanting everything to be absolutely perfect. And I think that's where I differ from a lot of people as well. I don't expect the wedding to be perfect, and actually I don't even expect it to go, like, according to plan at all. I'm just kind of like, what happens, happens, and it's all part of the experience. Actually, if things go wrong, it'll make it a little bit more memorable, so I'm actually not worried at all about things going wrong. To me, I kind of see a wedding as like an unscripted performance, in a sense, and kind of like this channel, actually. And I guess this channel is good practice because I'm very confident about how the wedding is going to turn out, regardless of if everything goes well or not. But I feel like maybe that's where a lot of the stress comes from for other people, because especially people who grow up thinking that a wedding is going to be their perfect day and they're going to be the king and the queen, prince and princess, you know, stepping out of their chariot, and all their friends and family are there to worship them. It may be a little bit jarring to deal with the wedding for what it actually is, and probably a big reason why I'm not stressed out about it is because I don't have that mental approach to it at all. But I mean, we'll see how it is when the day actually comes up. In the meantime, it's a lot of planning. It is a lot of planning. And the most stressful thing really has just been keeping up with the checklist of things to do, especially with our traveling that we want to do after the wedding, which I will be doing at the time of this video being out. There's a lot of stuff to plan there too. You know, a lot of the countries where we need to go, we need visas to go there. Coordinating with the embassies, trying to get the visas on time, and yeah, like, like, you never realize how slow a government works until you're on a time limit, making sure that you can actually go to all the places you want to visit. I'm sure it's much easier when you do like cruises nowadays, because on a cruise, they kind of want to make the experience as smooth as possible for everybody, so they coordinate a lot of the embassy work and making sure that everybody can go to the places that they're stopping at on the cruise. However, when you're coordinating your own travel and not using a travel agency or anything, you don't quite get that luxury. You're kind of on your own, and if you miss a deadline, then you gotta just cancel that part of your trip. So a big part of the actual stress that I've been experiencing in this whole planning process has really just been keeping up with deadlines and making sure that we have everything that we need to go where we want to go. It's easy with some countries, like, I don't know if I talked about this before on the channel or not, but I'm a big fan of Vancouver. I know it's a city like any other, and it has its flaws, and it's gilded meaning like looks nice on the outside, but when you go in you see everything that's wrong with it. And yeah, Vancouver definitely has that going on. But what I love about it is just the fact that when you're in the metropolitan area of Vancouver, you really don't need a car to get around. It sure is convenient to have one. You can turn a 3-hour public transit trip into a half-an-hour trip in some cases. But when you aren't in a rush and you're just kind of chilling on vacation, it's very nice to not have to get into a car and drive around. You get to explore a lot while doing so. There's a lot of stuff to see in Vancouver. A lot of parks to visit with beautiful views of the city, and there's a lot of things that I just stumbled across by wandering around the city. Things that even my friends who lived there were like, how do you know about that? Like, I've lived here for so long and I've never even seen that. I'm really looking forward to go back. It's been 3 years since I've been to Vancouver. My wife has never been to Vancouver, so I get to show her around. Even though I'm not a local by any means, I am excited to show her around and explain visually why I love Vancouver and why I can picture myself living there someday. However, picturing yourself living somewhere doesn't mean you're ever going to actually live there. The prices of living in cities in the West, especially lately, ouch. You know what? Let's start it on the next episode. We'll have one more arena episode and we'll call it quits, I think. We'll have to come back and do Sleep Inducer at some point. But anyways, it's a little bit of a longer episode. I probably sped through some of it. Thank you for watching. Hope you had a good time. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment if you enjoyed this episode. And yeah, we'll see you on the next episode. Have a good one. Bye.